All right, so I'm going to continue on. So, how do these cultures support the educational success and well being of each student and adult at your school? So, I think that by modeling respect to each other, it's really going to decrease the bullying and increase the academic performance. Again, talking about kids who feel safe at school. I mean, they're there to learn, but if a kid's not safe, then they come to school to feel safe, and then learning happens later. But I think that when students see teachers modeling respect with between teacher admin, teacher and other staff, teacher and kids, then that just kind of creates the expectation like this is what I expect from you and I do it myself. And then I also think that adults who are happy in their jobs and get adequate time to prep and plan, that allows teachers to feel empowered, and empowered teachers do great things. How is my school committed to developing and maintaining a supportive, equitable, culturally responsive, and inclusive school culture? Well, right now, I think we're doing a great job of creating that vision together. We have put a lot of time and effort into creating our vision. We've put out surveys, talked about, what is Rock Hills, what does it mean to me, and what do I expect to get out of it from a teacher? What do I expect for my students to get out of it? What do I expect for my own personal children to get out of it? And then we've posed those questions in a survey format to parents, to board members, and then to administration as well, and then also the other staff members who work for us, because it's out of school, it's not just teachers. We've got paras and custodians and lunch ladies and bus drivers and things like that, because it takes all of us to make it work. And so we've been doing a great job of taking time to decide, well, what is Rock Hills about, and taking time to create that vision together. We've been doing a lot of data research and using those data to drive decisions. So we noticed that our phonics is low, and it's not just low in one class, it's low, vertically. And so we know, okay, Wonders isn't giving us what we need. What other programs should we get and pilot and receive training on, and, go listen to overviews about, to make sure that we can see an increase in our phonics. And then we have done a great job of increasing that collaboration time. We get a daily PLC now, which is not something that was done in the past. But again, it's limited to just the people that you team teach with. So second grades with second grade and third grades with third grade. But we really need to see an increase in that time of letting K and 1 get together, and then 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and 3 and 4 get together. So that way we can plan vertically for our students. Another thing that I would like to see us do is a staff gratitude circle. We kind of start off our meetings with a smart start, I think is what we call it. And it's tell me one thing that you're proud of yourself this week, one thing you want to do by the end of the month, or things like that. But I think if we just go around and we took turns saying, I noticed that this week, this person did this for their students, or did this for somebody else, or, you brought me a coffee on Wednesday morning and you don't know how much I needed that. Thank you for being thoughtful. And just a chance for us to shout out each other and say what we're grateful for that they do. Because, our secretary starts the coffee every morning, and I don't think anybody tells her thank you, but we would all notice if she didn't do it, and she deserves to be noticed for the little things that she does. Sorry, that was kind of a tangent. So some characteristics. I want to see us help parents gain cultural capital a little bit better. I think that that's something that's kind of uneasy for us to talk about, because a lot of us that live in my area are a lot the same. And when we do get those outliers or those that are different than us, I'm not really sure how we help them gain the knowledge of how our area functions and things like that. I think that our administration does a really good job of leading by example, though, and I think that's something that will continue to get better the longer that they're in their profession. We're doing a good job of trying to introduce that PBIS and having that positive reinforcement, and truly I think that's something that I actually excel at, is I'm very good at pointing out the positives in what my kids are doing. But I definitely think that as a whole school and district, we could get better. And then continuing to bring in all stakeholders is always something I think you could get better at. I don't ever think that's something that should just plateau. I think it's something that you would continually want to see get better. When we talk about the new knowledge application, I want to see us increase our social and emotional learning communication with parents, so that way they know what their child's being expected to do at school and some of the new terminology that they might be coming home with. I do want to see staff brought together in a gratitude circle. So instead of just sharing what's a high from your week, calling each other out and kind of saying, I'm so grateful for you because you did this. And then increasing our professional development on adjusting teaching styles to meet the needs of students. Because I think we all get so stuck in our ways, well, that's just me, that's just how I teach, they're going to have to pick it up. And it's no, In third grade, your entire third grade class is low in phonics. And I realize that phonics is not pushed super hard in third grade, but you're going to have to change the way that you teach and what you teach because that's what these kids need. And I think being able to have teachers who are comfortable with that and feel like they could do it. And I think that that's something that's going to have to take professional development and time and to make those adjustments. All right, my concluding statements. So how are the key sections represented in your research and in your school? So I feel like the key sections were represented in the research by providing me the data behind the importance of responsive, positive, and culturally aware environments. And then the resources discussed more than just the impact on students, but how the staff and the community is impacted as well. How does my critical analysis and reflection demonstrate correlation to the standard selected for this assignment? So I do believe that my analysis met the standard because I spoke about the information I found for each, and I tied it to the knowledge of what it looks like in a school setting and why it's important and how people can be impacted. So how has this assignment been relevant to your current teaching and learning? So this assignment really did allow me to think broader about how we're meeting those needs of students or how we're not meeting those needs. Sometimes it's easy to get so stuck in thinking about just my classroom, but my classroom truly is just one cog in the wheel. You know, it's so much bigger than that. And so by thinking through these questions, it gave me the chance to think about all the different parts in our district and how we're succeeding in those areas, but maybe we need to do a better job of continuing the mind shift to have a more positive culture. And it can't just be just in second grade, but it's got to be everybody in our building. How has this assignment improved my understanding of equity, inclusiveness, and cultural responsiveness? So I think that this assignment improved my understanding of equity, inclusiveness, and cultural responsiveness by breaking down each component. I was able to read about what it looks like, why it's important, and who's affected by each prospect. And it also provided me with ideas of how we can educate ourselves and advocate for change, or maybe how we can be the change in those situations. Reflection. How has this assignment prepared me to lead efforts to promote the current and future success and well-being of each student and adult by applying the knowledge, skills, and commitments necessary to develop and maintain a supportive, equitable, and culturally responsive and inclusive culture? So this assignment prepared me to lead efforts to promote current and future success and well-being of all parts of my school system by informing me of the true need for extended teacher collaboration time. And in the future, when I'm creating school schedules, I want to allow for grade levels and vertical planning to have time to get together. And so my second way that I can lead these efforts is by having norms discussed and posted for staff meetings. We can also begin staff meetings on a positive note and work together to create a safe space for staff, so that way they're going to be brave and they're going to want to share things out. What other decisions in the future as a school leader could be influenced as a result of completing this assignment? So by writing a vision statement, I can talk about who to include and how to include them. And when we talk about behavior management systems, what we do, how does it affect students, and how a positive school climate can really impact students and teachers in a positive manner. And if we're seeing an increase in absenteeism, maybe we need to look at our school culture, and it might be something to review. So it's also giving me a chance to, okay, if this is the problem, what are the back things that I have to go to kind of look at? Okay, if this is the problem, I need to look at this to see if I can solve it that way. So most importantly, I really think it's necessary for school leaders to define a positive school climate that is relative to the working environment. And after doing that, we can review the steps that we need to strengthen what we're doing. And then my very last part here are my references. Thank you very much.